of the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, Mohammed Sanusi Barkindo, President Muhammadu Buhari, who gave the directive while formally receiving Dr. Barkindo on a courtesy visit, said the nation is proud of his legacies after 6 years of meritorious service at OPEC headquarters. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo has the details.
The outgoing OPEC Secretary General Mohammed Sanusi Barkindo, a strong believer in multilateralism and cooperation, is believed to be leaving the organization after the maximum allowed 2 terms of 6 years on a much stronger position than inherited in 2016. The way and manner he achieved the desperately sought cooperation agreement amongst oil producers towards addressing the supply glut that seemed to have defined all solutions and indeed crippling the oil market remain a standard of reference in OPEC history.
Mr. Barkindo has since steered the heavily loaded OPEC Plus ship through several life-threatening, turbulent waters against all formidable obstacles. He spearheaded the historic Algiers Accord in September 2016, which paved way for the equally historic Declaration of Cooperation among 23 oil-producing countries, a feat that had never been achieved in the history of the oil industry.
For Muhammad Sanusi Barkindo, President Muhammadu Buhari's continued support, guidance, and trust in him as OPEC Secretary General was a distinct honor of a lifetime. He is here to say thank you to the Nigerian leader.
I benefited from this charisma of yours, this international gravitas that you have in abundance, and has made my job much, much easier. I have learned from your experience. I tried to follow your large footsteps. We built a very strong team, and the future looks very promising. Nigeria will continue to play its leadership role in this organization, as well as in the global oil industry.
President Buhari described Barkindo's 6-year reign as OPEC Secretary General as eventful and result-oriented. Dr. Barkindo, he emphasized, showed incredible leadership in rallying and pushing the oil industry players through the turbulent times occasioned by, amongst others, the COVID-19 global pandemic.
Your efforts have placed the organization in a stronger position to confront the challenges it will face in the coming years. The government and people of Nigeria are indeed proud of you and the proud legacies you will leave behind. The Secretary will remember you kindly. You have done yourself and your country proud.
Muhammad Sanusi Barkindo is the 28th Secretary General of OPEC and 4th from Nigeria. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
It was lamentation and anger for the operators of recreational parks and nightlife fund seekers in the FCT as the tax team commenced the enforcement of the 7 p.m. closing time for park activities in the territory. Onoze Yakubu gives the situation report.
Nightlife fund seekers, it was a moment of disappointment as their pleasure time was cut short with the presence of this enforcement team. But for the operators of the parks, what is more worrisome is the loss of financial gain at the time they considered their peak period. The first port of call was the popular Eden Garden at Jabi, where the city enforcers disrupted ongoing activities. Thereafter, the team moved to Par Excellence Waterfalls, Unity Global Garden in Wuse Zone 5, as well as Delhi Restaurant and City Park in Wuse 2. With fund seekers already seated in clusters.
I'm not looking at what to lose. Whatever God helped me to make from money to that time, I'm okay. I thank God.
The workers are bitter because some of them came from far places, going back without transport. We're going to downsize workers. That is what it is.
The Senior Special Assistant on Monitoring, Inspection and Enforcement to the FCT Minister Iharu Atta disclosed that the enforcement is not to witch hunt anybody, but to ensure sanity at the recreational centers.
Yeah, they may lose money, but as time goes on, everyone will have to adjust. Once we all adjust to time, then they won't lose money because fund seekers will always seek fund. And when they seek fund they ought to seek from 7 p.m. to about 10 or 12. They will seek that fund from 4 p.m. to about 7.
He, however, maintained that the administration will continue to interface with the operators of parks in the FCT to ensure seamless implementation of the directive. Onoze Yakubu, NT News.
Meanwhile, after a series of warnings with valid quit notices, the FCT administration's ministerial tax team on city sanitation has pulled down illegal structures built on road corridors. Again, Onoze Yakubu has the details.
The affected structures served as both residential and commercial properties, lying on the major interchange linking Gwarimpa, Karsana, and Kafi districts of Abuja.
There have been too much report of criminal activities around this vicinity. That's why we came in here to mark. We marked this place 2 years ago. We marked it again last year, and we gave 17 May. 17 May this year. It was remarked by Kakakari of the AAPB. So with all of this marking, they still waited until we came. Very sad.
Mr. Peter Livinus denied being served any quit notice.
No notice, nothing. We just see them putting tear gas on us, which we don't know. Our children crying. That's when we start packing our things.
He, however, laments that the exercise will cause untold hardship on the people. Onoze Yakubu, NT News.
For 4 days now, motorists plying the Gombe-Bauchi Federal Road have to look for alternative routes as flood destroys some culverts along the road. The good news, however, is that contractors have been mobilized to carry out some repairs. Abbas Mekano reports.
This is one of the most important federal highways in the northeast that linked Adamawa, Borno, Gombe, Taraba, Yobe and Bauchi states. It is a major road to the country's capital, Abuja, from 5 out of 6 states of the sub-region. 42 kilometers from Gombe, 3 culverts along the road collapsed due to heavy downpour cutting off the sub-region from the rest of the country. The washed away portion is in Bara village, Kirfi local government area of Bauchi state, which has now turned into a very busy area with activities of petty traders and transporters who convey passengers to their destinations from both sides. People of the village were also seen taking the advantage of the situation to charge token amount of money to cross over with travelers and their wares.
People carrying load for you, you have to pay them. Just like the boy I carried now, you have to pay him something. But we pray that God help the government to see it and ensure. I know this government is a government that is ready to help, so they should just see what they can do to ensure they help.
My plan is to go to Abuja now. I'm stranded.
Work to repair the road has since commenced in earnest.
In this kind of area, there is little you can do during rainy season like this. Definitely, by this residual measure, by the time the rain season go.
But for the time being, we're trying to manage this road for people to use it safely.
The road is expected to be opened in the next few days. In Gombe, Abbas Mekano, NTA News.
More than 1.2 trillion naira has been generated in the first half of the year 2022 by the Southwest Zonal Command of the Nigeria Customs Service. Coordinator of the zone, Assistant Controller General of Customs, Adeyonju Modukwe Aremu, announced this during oversight of the command by the House Committee on Customs and Excise. Dayo Ogunshola reports.
This is the final phase of oversight to the Zone Head Command of Nigeria Customs Service by the House of Representatives Committee. The agency's new corporate headquarters was the first port of call for inspection.
By October, they will move in here. We will come here in October, and that time, the Nigerian people will also know.
Thereafter, the committee members had a high-level engagement with Controller General of Customs, where the chairman, Leke Abejide, highlights the Lagos experience.
The command visited, and from record, it has surpassed the half-year revenue target. Significant seizures of tramadol, cat leaves, explosives were made at cargo section. Major challenge of the area is lack of functional scanners that will improve the level of examination of imported exported goods. Lack of steady internet network for Webfontaine. Everywhere we went to, is Webfontaine network failure.
Colonel Amid Ali acknowledged the role of National Assembly and attributed their modest achievements to the good relationship between both.
He has been here several times to put us on the right track to make sure that by the time we appear to be discussing with you, we are on the same page. And that has greatly helped us. That has reduced to the barest minimum the controversies that do arise when customs meets with its own committee.
The committee had visited the Apapa port, the Tinkan Highland port, as well as the industrial command of the service, were issued on collection of duties on carbonated and sweetened drinks as specified by the Finance Act of 2020 was discussed. In Abuja, Dayo Gunshola, NTA News.
The Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Olukayode Ariwola, says the Nigerian Bar Association has a burden to ensure that legal practitioners keep to the ethics of the profession for proper administration of justice. He made the submission at the Nigerian Bar Association session on Legal Practice 2022 annual conference held in Asaba, Delta State. Tessie Coker reports.
The legal luminaries are here in Asaba for the annual conference to design a roadmap for the future of the bar. For the acting Chief Justice of Nigeria, Olukayode Ariwola, the challenges of the legal profession are self-inflicted as the conference is meant to address such setbacks facing the profession.
We are all aware that the administration of justice rests on a tripod: the courts, the litigants, and the legal practitioners. Any counsel appearing before a court of law is statutorily and professionally an officer of the court. There is no concealing the fact that the NBA SLP occupies a very critical place in this association by reason of the fact that majority of the members of the NBA are engaged in dispute resolution practice, whether solely as litigation practitioners or in alternative dispute resolution practice.
The Nigerian Bar Association, as an umbrella body for all legal practitioners in Nigeria, has over the years solidified into a formidable institution.
The Delta State government is working to provide a framework on which the judiciary and the legal profession can respond positively to these challenges. And in the year 2021, I signed into law the Delta State Judiciary Fund Management.
The theme of the conference is Legal Practice, Our Reality, Our Future. In Asaba, Tessie Coker, NTA News.
Let's talk education now. The Small and Medium Enterprise Development Agency, SMEDEN, is pushing for a mind shift towards entrepreneurship education at secondary school level in a bid to promote wealth creation. To this end, the agency has organized a capacity building for 100 teachers under the National School Entrepreneurship Program in Abuja. Musa Abubakar reports.
Learn about the rate of unemployment. Umar Garba, a marketing teacher, is worried about how some of his students will get a job without any entrepreneurship skills by the time they graduate from school. After being selected for the NCEP capacity building by SMEDEN, its concern is now in the past. The Train the Trainers entrepreneurship program is designed to provide access to functional and hands-on entrepreneurship education to every primary and secondary school student to eliminate youth unemployment.
We start from the primary school or secondary school to start indoctrinating them, telling them what and what to do, as regards them trying to bring food on their table and not to expose themselves to be employees, but be employers of labor.
Entrepreneurship is a gateway to every economy of the world today. So what you people have been brought in to learn is something that is a gateway and opening to the economy of every nation.
First, we have to lead by example. I believe one or two skills that I will get from here will be of benefit to me and my students.
This year's focus is on mind shift, and the agency is collaborating with FCT Secondary Education Board to train teachers who, after completion of the program, will pass the knowledge to their students. In Abuja, I'm Musa Abubakar, NTA News.
In the meantime, the federal government of Nigeria has taken steps to reabsorb returning Nigerian students from Ukraine to Nigerian schools following the conflict in that country with Russia. A statement by the spokesperson of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Francisca Omayuli, states that the federal government is committed to facilitating the placement of the students into various Nigerian tertiary institutions to enable them continue their studies. Interested students are advised to visit the Ministry of Foreign Affairs website, www.foreignaffairs.gov.ng, to complete the online Nigerian Students in Ukraine registration form with required information on or before 15th July 2022. Many Nigerian students trapped in the conflict zone were evacuated through the efforts of the federal government and have been reunited with their families without any hope of continuing their studies. This new window will rekindle hope for the returning students and their parents, the statement notes. It's now time to join Adiola in our Lagos studio for more reports on Nationwide. Hello, Adiola.
Hello, Ifoma, and welcome to Lagos. Work has commenced in earnest on the construction of the Okpebi Mende Ojota Link Bridge, one of the initiatives by the Lagos State government to address perennial traffic challenges in the metropolis. Musa Toliat has the situation report.
The commencement of board piling for the Okpebi Ojota Link Bridge at Maryland serves as a building foundation that guarantees support for the structures. The 3.9-kilometer Okpebi Ojota Bridge, conceived 20 years ago, is now gradually coming to fruition.
The weight of each beam is 55 tons. So we will bring very big crane for the lifting operation. It will be the 300-ton crane. And therefore, of course, to lift such heavy load within the swamp requires also appropriate preparation works.
Designed to provide direct link between Okpebi, Mende, Maryland, and Ojota to Ikorodu Road, the bridge is expected to reduce the perennial traffic on Mobolaji Bank Anthony Way and traffic on other roads around the environment.
What this will do is decongest Mobolaji Bank Anthony, which is always congested in the morning. That's a very important route to go to the airport. People in Ikeja spend about 2 hours to get to the island. So with this connection, we can cut it by an hour so that people can get to the island within an hour.
The project is designed in conjunction with the Lagos State Ministry of Transportation to provide road infrastructure and transport solutions that will ensure value and relief for the motoring public.
For me, it's the innovation that it brings to exactly how we can build modern day bridges when we have unusual ground conditions. If a contractor, you're used to building bridges where the terrain is good, it's fine. What then happens when you have unusual soil conditions? I think it's what this project signifies. The solutions that we're bringing to bear is something that is unique.
Lagos State government says the Okpebi Bende Ojota Link Bridge will be completed by June 2023. In Lagos, Musa Toliat, NTA News.
As the nation grapples with the frequent shortage of petrol in recent times, some illegal bunkers are taking advantage of the situation. However, the Federal Operations Unit Zone A of the Nigeria Customs Service has remained resolute, and this has led to the interception of 265,000 liters of the commodity within 6 months. Michael Olaleye reports.
A usual setting depicting a petroleum depot, but here are parts of the proceeds from the recent anti-smuggling drive of the Federal Operations Unit Zone A. In fact, the rate at which petroleum products are smuggled is becoming alarming, but the biggest worry to the customs is how some people deny Nigerians access to a commodity already subsidized by governments by smuggling to neighboring countries.
And it is on daily basis that we keep seeing it. That is why we were able to account for about 265,000 liters.
A major challenge experienced since the reopening of borders is, while legitimate trade continues to thrive, smuggling activities keep increasing, but the Federal Operations Unit Zone A of the Nigeria Customs Service believes the war is winnable with timely information, as the forthcoming general elections could present a window for unlawful importation.
I'm using this chance to tell Nigerians not to be swayed by their talks, not to be swayed by their money, that somebody who will now come in with an item like arms to fight what? To fight us. And you will now know, because of what you will gain, you will now allow those things to come in. Please, if you cannot come to us, go to other agencies and let us have that timely information.
The discovery of this parcel of cannabis is a good example. Intercepted in Ogewe after coming in from Idiroko and routes the northern parts of the country. But the pledge going forward by the customs is that all importers of contraband will not only be sent out of business, but get their hands burned. Within the period under review, the Federal Operations Unit Zone A did not just seize goods with total duty paid value of more than 7.1 billion naira, but collected 577 million naira as revenue derived from underpayment, while 103 suspects were arrested. In Lagos, Michael Olaleye, NT News.
And those are the stories from this end. Do not forget to follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/alllive and on our other social media handles displayed on your screens for updates. Salamatu in Kaduna has the next set of reports, but that will be after this break. To stay on.
As the world advances, Glorious Vision University Ogwa, Edo State is poised to deliver world-class education rooted in strong academic traditions. In the colleges of law, basic and applied sciences, humanities, management and social sciences, Glorious Vision University is building the next generation of leaders. Hurry now for 2022-2023 undergraduate and postgraduate admissions into any of our NUC fully accredited programs. Secure admission today in one of the fastest growing private universities in Africa. Also note that the university runs diploma, GPED, part-time, and tuition-free programs in all colleges. For more information, visit www.sau.edu.ng or call 0705 079 1226. Glorious Vision University, to nurture for discipline and excellence.
Do you run a breast or cervical cancer service? Are you a private or public laboratory, clinic or hospital that offer any of breast imaging, cervical cancer screening, HPV vaccination, or other breast or cervical cancer services? Is your service a primary, secondary, or tertiary center located in any part of Nigeria, no matter how remotely located it is? If yes to any of these questions, then subscribe to the OCI Foundation's Savvy Breast app and become accessible and visible to millions of Nigerians. It is all for free. To subscribe, just type the Savvy Breast application form on Google or go to the OCI Foundation's page on www.ocifoundation.org and search for Savvy Breast application form. Complete the form and submit. And let millions of Nigerians patronize you, all for free. Become part of the OCI Foundation's quest to tackle breast and cervical cancers in Nigeria. And join us as we rise by lifting off.
Yes, sir. It's like once you lose hope, you lose life. Once people get lifted to a certain level, they start feeling godlike.
What would you attribute this backwardness in education to in the North to date?
I feel alive.
What's right is right, what's wrong is wrong.
The program is reflections.
Nationwide on the network service of the NTA, and glad to have you join us here in Kaduna. Host communities of the Ahmadu Bello University Zaria have expressed concern over effects of the ongoing strike by academic staff union of universities, which paralyzed their social and economic activities. Tina Toro report that they are appealing for quick resolution of the standoff.
The ongoing strike is taking its toll on Nigerian universities, and Ahmadu Bello University Zaria is among those feeling the impact. Ahmadu Bello University is now a shadow of itself, as nothing is going on in terms of academic and social activities. The university has several communities around whose economic fortunes revolve around the institution. Worried by the prolonged absence of students and academic activities, which impact negatively on host communities, a meeting was convened by stakeholders to examine the implications of ASUU strike and demand quick resolution of the problem.
But I strongly feel we need to discuss here way forward. If you want to destroy a nation, destroy its education.
And as far as we are concerned as a union, we have not seen any complexity in asking government to provide money for improving our university.
For now, host communities of the Ahmadu Bello University Zaria will continue to survive under the ongoing face-off between the federal government and the academic staff union of universities, with adverse consequences on their economic fortunes. Tina Toro, NTA News.
And on medical outreach, Nigerian Army provided medical services to host communities around Jaji in Kaduna State as part of its 59th years anniversary celebration. Suleiman Regachkun tells us more.
Sabangayan, a suburb of Kaduna metropolis, located 20 kilometers along Kaduna-Abuja highway. It is a rural community lacking in basic social amenities such as roads, drainages, and functional healthcare facility, making it difficult for them to access medical care against treatable diseases such as typhoid, malaria, sight defect, among other common ailments.
I feel that there should be enough medical attention or facilities in this community, and I feel that they should build more hospitals.
As many as we are here in Sabungaya, we don't have hospital here.
In commemoration of the 59th Nigerian Army Day celebration, One Division Nigerian Army conducted the medical outreach for Sabangayan community. It is an opportunity for Helen Peter and other residents to get treated by the medical team.
We appreciate your support and cooperation by entrusting us with information on all manner of suspicious persons or activities to aid our operations.
The desired cooperation needed to curb this menace of banditry and kidnapping along this highway, not just this highway, but all other places within the state and the country in general, through intelligence gathering.
The Army Day, tagged NATCEL, will be celebrated on the 6th of July. Suleiman Gachkun, NTA News.
And that completes our packet. From here is back to former Ojinta in Abuja for more reports on Nationwide.
Thank you, Salamatu. President Muhammadu Buhari joins the performing arts industry in Nigeria in celebrating one of the country's most celebrated thespians, Jimi Solanke, on the occasion of his 80th birthday. In a statement, President Buhari describes the veteran songwriter, actor, performer, visual artist, poet and storyteller as a national hero and thanks him immensely for using his talents and works to help shape the modern and vibrant creative industry in Nigeria. The president hopes that Baba Abbas' repertoire of works and skills will continue to inspire a new generation of Nigerians to work on using the theatre to address contemporary issues, promoting peace, unity and progress across the country. He prays for God's continued guidance and blessings on the octogenarian and wishes everyone celebrating with the legend bountiful success in their endeavors. Now, Cross River State government is making efforts to ensure that its airline, Kali Air, becomes a formidable airline in Nigeria's aviation industry, with plans to acquire air operators certificates from the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority. This was brought to the fore as Commissioner for Aviation, Cross River State, Dr. Jake Otu Enya, and newly appointed Managing Director of the airline embarked on office inspection at Margaret Ekpo International Airport, Calabar. Paul Abel reports.
Cross River State government delved into the aviation industry not only for commercial purposes, but also to satisfy the yearnings of the people. But since its inauguration, Kali Air with 2 aircraft has been operating under a partnership, but that will soon change with the intervention of the state governor to acquire a 3rd one. Meanwhile, setting up offices in Lagos, Calabar, and Abuja are part of plans to plunge Kali Air into the mainstream of airline business. Therefore, this inspection of office spaces, ticketing counter for Kali Air already acquired at the Margaret Ekpo International Airport, Calabar, and ratification of the appointment of a new MD by the State Executive Council are measures to keep the airline ready for complete operations by the state government.
To use this opportunity to indeed plead with cross riverians. This is our property. It's our property. It is not personal. It is for the collective whole of all the entire Cross River. It's our commonwealth. So it is our also business. We think that it is with this that we will definitely define and put in place the economic fortunes of this state in the near future.
Now my job is to get the certification done, get pilots, get to the normal work, my responsibility, and of course, make revenue. I want to see if this airline starts before Christmas. I don't promise, but we're working very hard for that.
The rumor of non-operation of Kali Air was debunked, as it is currently operational on commercial viable routes in the country, while efforts are also underway to recommence flights on the Calabar route. In Calabar, Paul Abel, NTA News.
We now turn our attention to security matters. The Imo State's Governor Hope Uzodinma has reiterated his resolve to continue to support the Nigerian security forces in the fight against insecurity in the state. He said this when he received the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Farouk Yahaya, on a courtesy visit at the Government House, Owerri. Beatrice Anyam reports.
The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Farouk Yahaya, and his entourage, who are in Owerri for the ongoing Nigerian Army Day celebration, were received in Government House by the Imo State Governor Hope Uzodinma and some members of the State Executive Council. The governor, while expressing delight over the choice of Owerri for the celebration, commends the Nigerian Army for their commitment in the fight against insecurity in the country.
I urge the military to seek not just to overpower the insurgents, the terrorists, or the rebels, as the case may be, but also to help win the hearts and minds of the people that are living around. This will go a long way towards building trust and erasing the mutual suspicion that exists between the civilians and the military.
The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Farouk Yahaya, appreciates Governor Uzodinma for his support, which he says has contributed to the successes being recorded in the fight against insecurity.
I am aware of recently you have activated the security architecture in the state that has further improved and enhanced security here. We cannot but thank you once again for this gesture.
The event featured presentation of plaque to the Imo State Governor by the Chief of Army Staff in Owerri. Beatrice Anyam, NTA News.
Meanwhile, Kogi State's Governor Yahaya Bello has charged local government chairmen, professional hunters and local vigilantes to intensify efforts in the fight against insecurity in the state. This was at a meeting in Government House Lokoja where recent developments were addressed. Correspondent Solomon Ayedeng reports.
The meeting is a deliberate attempt by the state government to stem insecurity across Kogi State. The professional hunters and local vigilantes are part of the state security architecture, resulting in the successes recorded in the fight against insecurity and criminality. The governor charged them to take the issue of security seriously, particularly information and intelligence gathering.
No hiding place. We are not going to tolerate them. If you catch them, deal with them. If you identify anybody in government that is either supporting him or supporting them directly or indirectly, expose them.
The state governor also appealed for stronger ties among security agencies for achievable results, stressing that his administration will not condone saboteurs. In Lokoja, Solomon Ayedehi, NTA News.
Still on security, the Nigeria Police Force is working on a comprehensive conflict management document to guide line officers on human rights and also assess the psychological state of personnel on the field. Francis Form reports that this is to enhance operational preparedness of the personnel to effectively tackle security challenges in the country.
Line of your duty, you have two things.
Seated in this hall are officers and men of the Nigeria Police Force receiving lectures on psychological development. Considering the stressful nature of the job, DCP Mary Okereke Obasi, in charge of disaster management in federal operations at the force headquarters, is one of the participants. DCP Mary says training like this will make personnel of the force brace up and effectively discharge their duties.
New ideas are being given to us. It will help us much more to know how to rapport with the members of the public.
And we believe that at the end of the program, it will have ripple effects on the police and the police in general in Nigeria.
The need to boost the operational capacity of the force to combat crimes and criminality necessitated this capacity building workshop.
It is also intended to reposition the officers and men of the Nigerian Police Force towards delivery on their mandate of ensuring the peaceful conduct of the forthcoming 2023 general elections in the country.
It is expected that this psychological development that you people will be taught at this program will address and assist in you police officers to be able to improve your confidence and return back to your various places of work.
This present administration of President Muhammadu Buhari is adequately prepared to give you all the necessary support to the Nigerian Police Trust Fund with a view to enable it achieve its mandate of reforming the Nigerian police.
The training is expected to deliver a comprehensive conflict management handout where all participants will have the understanding of the concept of peace. Francis from NTA News.
Mina is standing by in Enugu. Let's join her for the continuation of Nationwide. Hello, Mina.
Hello, Ifoma. Good evening and welcome to Enugu. In addition to the 34 customary court buildings and other structures constructed across the state to aid service delivery in the Enugu State Judiciary, a new customary court of appeal complex has been inaugurated for the headquarters. Inaugurating the building named Honorable Justice Chima Santos Wenze Complex, Governor Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi noted that this is a part of effort to elevate the state judiciary to a higher level of competence and efficiency. Susan Eze has the details.
The new headquarter complex of the Customary Court of Appeal houses 2 standard courtrooms, the President's Chamber, research unit, library, and other facilities. Governor Ugwuanyi is confident that these and other improvements in the infrastructure and human capital of the judiciary will enhance the capacity of the court to exercise its appellate and supervisory role over the 153 customary courts in the state.
Central is committed to dedicating to the state, the judiciary and nationally contributing and capable by administering justice in a timely, efficient, and acceptable manner.
President of the Enugu Customary Court of Appeal, Justice Chibueze Nnamani, is happy about the infrastructural development in the judiciary sector.
Henceforth, we shall enjoy the dignity of a befitting headquarters and the corresponding maximization of productivity.
The complex is named after a foremost jurist from the state and Justice of the Supreme Court, Honorable Justice Chima Sentu-Nweze.
This is a special honor to have been chosen for this special recognition. I do not therefore take it for granted.
One of the high points of the event was the presentation of a surprise reward by the President of the Customary Court to an administrative staff, Mrs. Justina Izueke, for her exceptional dedication to duty in Enugu. Susan Eze, NTA News.
Activities heralding the trial census in preparation for the first fully digital census in Nigeria in April 2023 commenced in Enugu with the Federal Commissioner, National Population Commission, Ejikeze, applauding President Buhari for the approval of the conduct of the exercise. The commissioner gave the commendation during the flag-off of the MPC training for functionaries of the trial census. Okechukwu Agobama now reports.
Objective of the trial census, among other things, is to assess the quality and usefulness of the enumerated areas map out that have been created. The exercise will take place in 9 out of the 17 council areas of Enugu State. The Federal Commissioner, National Population Commission, commended President Muhammad Buhari on his commitment to the planned and sustainable development of the country. He added that the Commission has intensified preparatory activities in deploying technological innovations on massive scale that will conduct a scientific census that will be transparent and acceptable to the country.
What we are doing today is the flag off of the training of the functionaries for the trial census, which are going to start in the next 12 days.
The trial census will be from 27 June to 30 July 2022 in Enugu. Okechukwu Agobama, NTA News.
And that's the contribution from here. Remember, you can follow this news broadcast live on our website at www.nta.ng/live and all our social media handles displayed on your screen for updates. We'll take another break here. Nationwide will continue with Informa in Abuja after this break.
Imagine any society without laws. Imagine piles of laws without the courts to interpret them. Imagine lots of interpretation without a medium to bring them to your doorsteps. The scale of the network service of the Nigerian Television Authority helps to fill the gaps and turns law and justice into a tangible instrument for national development. That is the scale, and it is balance.
Engage your team this summer at Digitest 2022, an annual ICT creative camp and competition for young minds of ages 8 to 18. With the theme Connecting Technology, Energy and Climate. Date Saturday, August 13 to Sunday, August 21st, 2022. Venue, Top Faith International Secondary School, Nkpatak, Akwa Ibom State. For registration, visit www.digitalpairs.org. For information and inquiries, call 0807-782-3307 or 0807-782-3308. For more updates, follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and link it at Digital Peers. Digitest is brought to you by Digital Peers International in collaboration with the Akwa Ibom State Government.
Harmony of biodiversity destroyed, both in climate crisis and crime phases.
Dicey situation indeed, yet we carry on like a bull in a china shop.
On environment matters, we take the bull by the horns, comb the nooks and cranny of Nigeria.
Asking tough questions,
examining challenges and opportunities,
giving human face to the science, facts, faiths, and global agreements. It's a call for action. Don't miss it.
Join award-winning environmental journalist Jennifer Igwe and other NTA Eco reporters for Environment Matters.
Motlalo, Nigeria are the 9th champions in this competition.
The 12th edition of the Africa Women's Cup of Nations is here with 12 teams including